So do you struggle with email marketing? Do you have people on your list, but like Jonathan, I don't know what to send them? How do I get people to open my emails? How do I get them to read my emails? And more importantly, how do I get them to click on the email to do an action? If you've been wondering all of those things, then today, stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 favorite email marketing tips for 2021. Let's get started. Hey messengers, welcome to the Market Your Message show. I'm your host, Jonathan Milligan, and the author of the new book, Your Message Matters: How to Rise Above the Noise and Get Paid for What You Know. And in today's episode, I'm excited to talk to you about my top 5 email marketing tips for 2021. So when it comes to email marketing, maybe you're like, Jonathan, what are the best practices? What do I need to be aware of? How can I get more engagement, more opens? Or I don't even know what to send to my list. We're going to cover all that and more in today's episode. In fact, here's what you're going to discover today. What emojis have to do with improving your email open rates, what segmenting is and why you need it, how a little tweak, a tiny little tweak, to your email copy can make you thousands of dollars more, and much, much more. And by the way, if you're like, Jonathan, I don't even have an email list. I don't even know how to get started. Well, we've put together a special free 9-page blueprint called the Discover Your Message Blueprint. This is perfect for you. If you don't know your audience, your niche, you don't know what you're good at. And if you're wondering any of those things, if you're trying to discover your purpose, your people, or your passion, you're going to want to download this 9-page blueprint. Just go to marketyourmessage.com/discover. All right. So I've been doing email marketing for years, and I also am a student of email marketing. I subscribe to a lot of newsletters. I watch what people in our industry are doing, and I'm always looking for little tips and nuances. And then I like to test them. I like to apply them to my own list and watch and see what works. And sometimes they're failures and sometimes they're real successes. But today I want to share with you what you should be doing in 2021 with your email list, whether you have 5 people on your email list or 5,000 people on your email list. So let's jump into these tips, shall we? Tip number 1, use emojis in your subject lines. Now, I'm sure this is going to eventually get oversaturated, but as of right now, there's still a real opportunity for you to use an emoji in your email subject line. You say, Jonathan, why should I do this? Because what it does is it allows your email to stand out amongst all the other emails that are in people's inbox. So right before the show, I grabbed a screenshot from my Gmail, and here's what it looked like. And by the way, if you're looking, or if you're actually listening on the podcast, I'm going to be sharing a few things on the screen today. I'll do my best to describe it, but you can always hop over to the YouTube channel. Just look for my name in YouTube, Jonathan Milligan, and you can find this video. So here is what a snapshot looks like. So you see there's several emails in there, but then one in particular has a thumbs up emoji at the beginning of the email subject. Do you notice how that kind of sticks out? It kind of makes it look a little bit different. It's like kind of starring an email and making it stand out. You can use this to both add a little bit of fun, but also improve the open rates in your email. Now you might be saying, Jonathan, but I have no idea how to add an emoji in my email subject line. Okay, I've got an answer for you. So there's lots of sites out there, but one in particular that I like is called Emojipedia. So it's literally the word emoji and pedia, PEDIA.org, emojipedia.org, and you can search for anything. So if you wanted to search for something like high five, You just search in there, you find the one that you're looking for. So we're going to go with this one called raised hand. And then you'll notice when you get in here, it says copy. So you can literally click on the little button that says copy, and then you are actually able to go over to your email subject line and click on paste. So right click, paste, whatever you use, Mac or Windows, and it will put that emoji right inside your email subject line. You can also use the same technique for putting emojis in the bodies of your email as well. So that's tip number one that I want to give you. Use emojis. Experiment with adding an emoji to your email subject line. All right, tip number two, segment or tag your list. Now, this is a little bit more intermediate or advanced, but I think it's super smart for you to do, even if you have a small list. And here's what you do. So I like to use an email software called ConvertKit. Most email list building softwares today have the ability to do what's called tagging or segmenting. What that means is you can actually segment or organize your subscribers according to interest and according to what they buy. So there's really, for me, there's two primary types of tagging I do in my email software. I do interest tags and I do buyer tags. So when somebody buys something from me, a course, coaching program, something like that, my system will tag them as having bought that. So I know who my customers are, the people who've actually paid money with my business, right? But the interest tags are even more interesting, no pun intended. What that means is you can set it up. So for example, if I were to send out an email to my list and say, hey, have you thought of writing a Kindle book? Click here and download my 30-day writing plan. And so everybody who clicks on that email, I can add an interest tag to them in my ConvertKit account that says interest Kindle books. Why is that important? Because I could later follow up with more emails just to the people who are actually interested. Pretty smart, right? It's a way for you to gauge what people are interested in, what topics are they interested in, and it's also a way for you to improve the types of emails you're sending to people. So that way you're not just blasting people about Kindle books when they have no desire to learn about writing a Kindle book, right? So here's a quick example of something I did inside of my ConvertKit account. I sent out an email to my list and I said, hey, what stage are you in right now? And literally I set up 5 links in an email. I think there was actually 6 right here. And I said, either you're trying to discover your niche, you're trying to launch your website or blog, you're trying to build it, you're trying to write content on a daily basis, are you trying to focus on growing it, or are you really focused on trying to make money with it? Which of these are you focused on right now? And based on what they clicked, you can see that my audience was segmenting themselves from this email. And so you can see here that there's over 3,500 people who are at step 1. They're like, Jonathan, I'm on your list, but I don't even know what I should build a business on. And that, my friend, is one of the main reasons why I decided to build out my Discover Your Message course to help people with that, because I saw, wait a minute, there's a lot of people trying to figure this out. It's also why I have my Discover Your Message blueprint that I give out for free, because a lot of my audience is trying to figure out that very thing. So begin thinking about, you don't have to go advanced on this, but you could think about adding tags. And by the way, in ConvertKit, you can do this before you send an email out through automation, or you can do this afterwards. So you could go back and say, okay, everyone who clicked on the email I sent yesterday, I want to add this interest tag to them. And that is how you can begin to categorize your list according to what they're interested in. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Tip number 3. Use the HSO Framework. You say, what is that? Well, it's just a way for me to like abbreviate it. But I first learned about this from Russell Brunson in his .com Secrets book. And essentially, he uses this idea on every single type of copy. But it works really, really well when it comes to emails. So if you're like, Jonathan, I don't know what to write when I know I need to be sending emails to my list. Like, it's been weeks, Jonathan. I just don't know what to say. What do I say? The focus that you should have is building the relationship. And you can use the HSO framework to do that. What does it stand for? It stands for hook, story, offer. The hook is the email subject line. How can we create curiosity or a benefit to people opening the email? Then tell a story. People love stories. Share a story of your past. Share something that recently you went through. Share a story of somebody else. But share a short story and then transition to the offer. Now, sometimes the offer is a paid offer. Sometimes it's a free webinar. Sometimes it's join my giveaway, enter my giveaway. Sometimes it's go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Offer can be lots of things. It's totally up to you. So let me give you an example of one that I used last year when we had to pivot from doing our live event in person to doing it virtual. And I wanted to make a big announcement. So here's an example of hook, story, offer. So the subject line says, my wife is not happy about this. And then in parentheses, I have C pick. Can you see why this would cause people to want to open this? Like, what's going on? What's your wife not happy about? And what's the picture all about, right? So I didn't show the entire email here, but here's what I kind of said. Look for the story. Good morning. Have you ever heard the phrase, happy wife, happy life? Well, there's one thing I've learned after 21 years of marriage. It's this. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Well, mama ain't happy right now. See the pic below. And the picture is actually like hundreds of boxes that we had designed to send out the materials and the t-shirts for our live event that was supposed to be in person that we were now pivoting to doing it virtual. So I tell this story about I've got hundreds of boxes sitting in my house that we need to mail out, but I need you guys to buy your ticket. That was the offer. Buy your virtual ticket. I'll send you one of these boxes in the mail with your workbook and t-shirt. You see how that worked? Hook, story, offer. It's incredibly powerful. Tip number 4. I hope you're enjoying these tips. Here's tip 4. Collect templates and swipe copy. Now, like I said, it's a good idea for you to be a student of other marketers that you admire. So do you have other bloggers or podcasters or people who you subscribe to and you're like, man, they just always have really good emails? Well, start capturing those emails. You can store those. When I first started, I started storing them, copying, pasting them into a Google Docs file. And then I got more sophisticated over the years. And this is not about stealing. It's about finding the template, because you'll notice that somebody has a really good angle or idea. So you attach your story to their idea, or you use their subject line, but you tweak it to make it yours. And so swipe copy, that's exactly what it is. Marketers love to model themselves after other successful marketers. So I currently use a piece of software called Closers Copy. Now, what Closers Copy does is it comes pre-built with some email templates, some sales page templates, some ad templates. But the reason why I love Closers Copy the most is because it allows me to create my own templates. So I can store templates that I am collecting. And here's what's cool. And again, if you're watching the podcast, you might want to come find the YouTube video that goes along with this over on our YouTube channel. But I can go down here to my templates inside the software, and I have been organizing for the past several months 3 categories: email subject lines, social media post, and email body copy. So let's say email subject lines. Let's say I don't know what is a good hook. Well, you can see here, I've got email subject line ideas from webinar invites, announcements, curiosity-based headlines, direct story-based. So I'm going to choose curiosity. And what I can do is I can click add to document. And what it's going to do is it's going to load up all of my curiosity email subject lines. And there's some real gold in here, like, wow, just amazing. Or this changes everything. Or here's one, this is ridiculous. Or we apologize for what happened. Or read this ... Should I be worried? ? And see, I'm able to get some quick inspiration off of this to help me to write emails faster, to help me to produce these emails. So I have that again for headlines, social media post ideas, and body copies. Now, hopefully in the future, I've already talked with the creators of Closer's Copy, and they told me that very, very soon they're hoping to make it available to where somebody like myself can share my personal templates. So all of these templates that I have and I've been building into the software, very, very soon, I'm going to be able to share them with you if you were to sign up for this software under my affiliate link. Now, currently it's not available at the moment, but I hope to make an announcement as soon as it is, because literally this is like 10 years of me collecting my favorite emails and subject lines, ones that have worked for me. And I mean, this would be an incredible benefit for people who just need a stroke of inspiration. But I would just tell you, go collect headlines in a Google Doc, or just find the people maybe you're already subscribed to, look at their past emails and copy and paste them into a Google Doc. And maybe you can use that for inspiration in the future. All right. Tip number 5, use your email footer wisely. Now, I kind of discovered this about 5 months ago, and it was like, why haven't I been doing this? Was my thought. And I'm going to show you an example in just a second. But here's the thing. You don't need to sell something in every single email. In fact, you should be probably doing more teaching and adding value than you do selling. Now, there's occasional exceptions, like when you're doing a product launch or if you're doing a flash sale for a week. Obviously, that's the case. But you can still teach a lesson, share tips, give value, and then transition to making something for sale. You don't have to just sell. But here's what can help with that. You can actually take advantage of your email footer below your email. Let me show you an example, and I think this will make sense. And for those listening on the podcast, I'll describe this. So I've built into my email template inside ConvertKit something at the very, very bottom. So it's after a PS, and I have this gray box that literally has 4 steps. So do you have steps? Do you have a kind of a customer journey that people can go on? I do, and here's what I have. At the bottom in the box, this is below every single email. So I can send an email out about anything. Maybe I don't even have anything for sale. Maybe there's not even a link to click on. But I still make sales every single time I send out an email. And it's because of this gray box at the bottom of every email. And it says this: what's next? Whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways I can help you. Step 1, get the book. There's a link for somebody to go buy a copy of my book. Step 2, discover your message. And there's a link for them to go buy my Discover Your Message challenge. Step 3, launch your platform. There's a link for someone to buy my next level course, which is to launch your platform. And then finally, step 4, get personal help in mentoring. And then there's a link for them to apply to my mentoring program. And guess what? Since I've been doing this the last 5 months, every single week, I have people purchase from every single email we send out. Why? Because you might be sending an email out for somebody who you're trying to help them discover their message, for example, but they're already past that. But then they see, wait a minute, launch your platform. I don't have a website launched yet. That's what I need. I'm going to click on that. And then they end up going and purchasing it. Or there's some people who they just want to get right to your coaching program or your mentoring program. They don't want the book or anything else. They just want you. Then people can apply there. You see how powerful that is? And so I'm curious, which one of these 5 tips do you like? Just by instituting or implementing 1 or 2 of these tips, it can make all the difference in the world in your engagement, in your ability to send more emails, in improving your relationship, and even getting results. So I hope you'll take these top 5 tips and go make it happen for you in 2021. Again, if you don't know where to start, the perfect place to start is our Discover Your Message Blueprint. Just go to marketyourmessage.com/discover